Happy holidays, everyone. Welcome to our second part of the 2023 holiday special. Today we are reacting to 8-Bit Christmas. So, yeah, just like the other movie and just like next week's movie, this was chosen kind of at random. If you didn't watch last week's reaction, basically the gist is that I knew what the theme I wanted to go with. Holidays. I wanted to go with queer Christmas movies. So I looked that up on Google and I just chose three movies I saw. um, I don't actually know anything about them, but they popped up when I put in queer Christmas movies. Or gay Christmas movies, whatever exact word I used. So, yeah, I don't know what to expect from this otherwise. Though with the title like 8-Bit Christmas, I assume it has something to do with video games. I mean, that just makes sense. That's also part of the reason I chose this one specifically off of what I saw on there, because I like video games. But another reason I chose this one is because I saw that it stars Neil Patrick Harris. So that's fun. Neil Patrick Harris is a gay actor who has done a lot of amazing work. Just recently, he was in the third 2023 60th anniversary special for Doctor Who as the Celestial Toy Maker. So, yeah, he is a Doctor Who actor now. And he was amazing in it. But he's pretty much amazing in whatever he's in. So, yeah, I know he's in this. That's pretty much all I know about this for sure. I'm interested to see it though. And we'll see how it compares to last week's. Single All the Way was really good. I really enjoyed it. Even if it was very basic, very simple. But, you know, it did that in regards to having that kind of classic Christmas rom-com movie, just gay. So we'll see how this one goes in comparison. But like I said, I don't really know anything else, so we're just going to get on with it and hope for the best. So when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the movie. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. Well, that was a fucking lie. Yeah, it seems I was right that this just popped up in the search because of Neil Patrick Harris being in it, because he's gay. This movie wasn't at all. This movie wasn't even slightly. Like, there was not even a hint at anything. And it's a newer movie. It's like only like a couple years old. Like, I think it came out in 2021. But it had nothing at all in regards to that. Like, the only thing you could even maybe say close was that, like, when his daughter was like, so what about the boots? And he's like, okay, well, back then in the 80s, it wasn't, like, so accepting. And it's like, that's the only thing you could even equate to that. There was nothing else you could even connect. But, despite that, the movie was still really good. It was really fucking funny. Like, that's the biggest takeaway from this movie. It was so fucking funny. There were so many points that just made me laugh really hard, and some parts that just shocked me. There was a lot of it that was super over the top. Like when the one kid's like puking out the SpaghettiOs, and just how straight of a stream that was. It was so direct. Like, I've never seen someone projectile vomit that directed before. That was insanity. Um, but yeah, it's like there's a lot of really fun moments, and obviously a cute, fun, nice message at the end, about the meaning of the holiday and everything. Which is again cute and nice and fun, yada yada. But in the end, a lot of this was pretty basic, pretty fun. Um, Nothing really like outside of the just how funny it was. Nothing really like stood out too strongly. Besides the comedy, the biggest like shock moment and everything was the dog nearly dying. Um, I feel it would have been a bigger shock though if the dog actually had died, if that was just like some random dark twist in there. But no, the dog survived. The dog was fine. I mean, hurt, but fine in the end. So yeah. There was also a little bit of, I guess you could say, like positive thinking in this, such as when he stood up to the bully and everything. It's like that oftentimes does not go that well. A lot of times when you stand up to a bully, the bully will attack you harder. A lot of times physically. So yeah, it's just they're really there's not a lot of realism in that regard, but a lot of the movie had exaggerated shit going on. A lot of the bad luck Jake was having, for example, was super exaggerated. Um, Super over the top with some of this shit. It was silly, but that's fine. This movie is going to appeal to kids a lot. It's a good family film for this time of year, and it definitely helps people be able to connect with the topic of video games because video games nowadays are a really big thing, and kids watching this who might have never seen or played an original Nintendo, will see how things like were back in those days, how big Nintendo was, and I guess Cabbage Patch Dolls too, and can like compare and contrast between that and the current day with stuff like PS5s and Xbox Series X and all. It's it can lead to some really interesting discussions between the parents and their kids as well. Now, I grew up in the 90s and the 2000s. I was born in 92. When I was 11, that was in 2003. So I didn't grow up anywhere near the same time period that this takes place in. So I don't know about all of that, you know, is a product of the 80s from this film. Um, when I grew up, though, in terms of Nintendo, like I never, like I said in the reaction, I never had a regular NES system. My grandmother did, and I think she still does actually. I think she still owns it. But it was like a regular NES system that she had with various different games. The big one was Dr. Mario that we like to play. But we did get a Super Nintendo, and then we kind of went along from there. N64, GameCube, eventually Wii's. Wii's though came out like around like a like just before I graduated, I think. God, I have to check now. I know I got a Wii right after I graduated and came back up from Georgia to start going to college. Oh no, it was actually out for years before. Okay. The Wii came out in 2006. I got mine in 2011 because I got it when Skyward Sword came out. Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. Because I got a Wii I got Skyward Sword. I got the special controller adapter and everything. I got that in 2011, so that had already been out. Okay. Um, but yeah, we kind of went from there with Nintendo. I never had a Wii U. Um, and now I have the Switch, which yeah, turned on. Well, it was technically already on, but um, yeah, I have my Switch. This is just a little stand and charging dock. But yeah, so I mean, I'm still into video games, but I've been playing since the beginning. Like I played the original Super Mario. I played TMNT. I played all of these games on the original NES, like when I was a kid and everything. And so it's like, yeah, I may not have been alive when the NES first came out, but nonetheless, um, I still played. I grew up playing it. And so yeah, there was definitely some nostalgia to this and some fun with that. This was just a cute movie. This was really fun. Neil Patrick Harris like wasn't a major role in this because most of the movie took place in his flashbacks. Um, but nonetheless, like I just had a blast with this. It was really fun. There was some really good humor, and while it kind of didn't end up aligning with our theme for the holiday special this year, which that's not my fault. Google lied to me. I Googled queer or gay or whatever term I specifically used Christmas movies, and that came up. So that is not my fault. That is Google's fault for tagging it that way just because Neil Patrick Harris is in it. Um, but nonetheless, I'm not upset. I'm not actually upset because this was still a great movie, and I'm glad I got to see it. Hell, again, just for the comedy alone, like it made me happy watching this. So tell me in the comments below, what did you think of 8-Bit Christmas? And for now, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.